Hello, hello, it is Ariel again, and I am back doing stuff in front of the camera. So I'm filming this after the video about the direction of the channel and also all the stale tea. The consensus appears to be that people do like the commentary over the lame tutorial review thing. Lame coming from me, because I'm not that good at it. Alright, so that's what we're going to go for. But today I'm going to do a look, and I'm also going to talk about tomfoolery that I don't want to see reoccurring in 2019. Okay, and also, this time I do have kind of a plan. Ended up Googling colors that were associated with New Year's. Really didn't find anything, but what I did find was a list of New Year's lucky colors for 2019 and what those colors are supposed to represent. For the sake of this video, the colors that I have chosen and their meanings are green. So green is supposed to bring us well-being, calm, and lack of envy in 2019. Now, I'm not really worried about envy because I'm not really like an envious person anyway, but I could definitely use some peace and calm, so we're gonna go for that. And I'm also going to be using blue. So blue is for peace and good health, and then I'm going to be using yellow for joy and happiness, because what I really want in the coming year is ultimately joy, happiness, well-being, calm, and peace and good health. That's actually really all I'm concerned about in 2019. That's it. We're just going to get right into the look. I'm doing this Hangover RX primer for my first primer. I'm doing another primer because I'm extra like that, and it's the BECCA First Light Priming Filter. Love this stuff. It's purple. Okay, tomfoolery. So as we all know, 2019 has had a lot of silly nonsense going on in the beauty community and around the beauty community and YouTube in general. I'm mostly going to be talking about either the beauty community or beauty industry as a whole. CC cream from IT Cosmetics. The first tomfoolery that I do not want to be seeing any more of in 2019 is inappropriate equivalence when dealing with things that are very serious, like racism, fraud, scams, that kind of thing. Kind of sick and tired of people acting like that's the same thing as garden variety drama, because it's really not. I used to rant about this offline as well. So, okay, so Laura Lee says this horrible thing, and Jeffree Star has done some real sus things, and was under fire at that time for saying real sus things. Manny what? He's a social climber? Okay. And people act like it's morally equivalent, and they're just not. Like, I can understand how it happened. A lot of the people who are involved in the beauty community as a whole, their understanding of racism is necessarily hypothetical, right? It's theoretical, and they can't necessarily connect to it on a deeper personal level. But what they can connect to is on a deeper personal level is friends screwing them over. You know, friends that use them or use them to get to other friends or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's why people created this equivalency narrative, because even though one is clearly worse than the other, the one that is not as bad was not as hypothetical to them. And I understand that, but even though I understand that, that doesn't make it accurate or correct or not offensive. The thing about, like, I can understand being, especially if you looked up to Manny for whatever such and such a reason, and then you find out that I guess he's a bad friend. I could understand being put off by that, but I do think he's actually correct when he said in that documentary that never got finished, pretty much everybody is a clout chaser in the beauty community. Like, I kind of agree with him. He just happened to get caught for it. Any kind of industry where connections play a huge part is going to have an atmosphere that encourages clout chasing, nepotism. That doesn't necessarily mean that the relationships that form are not genuine. I remember when I was a teenager, any kind of self-help book that I found, I would read it. I was, you know, searching for something. This is relevant, I swear. I also would read those influency books, you know, like How to Win Friends and Influence People, that kind of thing. One of them was about how to get involved with whoever you want. The author said, that was Mineral Veil from Bare Minerals. I have this little cute one here. One of the things she said was, let's say you want to marry a rich person or a lawyer, or you have, for whatever reason, an obsession like with marrying a doctor, as many people apparently do, or did at some, I don't know. Or you're really into musicians. She was like, well, if you want to marry a specific kind of person, then basically you just go to where those people are. And then she says, just because you're targeting a specific group of people, that doesn't mean that you can't genuinely love them. Like if you say, oh, I want to marry a millionaire, then you could be a jerk and just marry whatever, like the first millionaire that crosses your path. Or you could be a person who hangs around, tries to meet millionaires, and then marries the one that you actually fall in love with. Whether you agree with that concept or not, and by that concept, what I mean is whether you think it's okay to say, well, I want to date rich people, and so I'm going to go find rich people to date and look for the rich person that I can love. It's still the case that if you want to marry a rich person, you're perfectly capable of finding a rich person that you care about and not just marrying a rando rich person. My point is, even if we say that Manny or anybody is a clout chaser and made friends and connections in order to gain more connections and more clout, that doesn't necessarily mean that he did not care about those people and then fall out with them. Not because he was like just done with them, but because there was something else going on there. Because, you know, friendships break up all the time. And for the record, I'm not defending him. I have no idea why his relationships broke up. And I don't really have an opinion on why the relationships broke up. Like, I don't care. I'm just saying that a lot of times these things are complicated. And that was a very long take on the tomfoolery. And didn't really even get into the main point of it, which is that lots of unfortunate things can happen. But they're not all the equivalent of one another. It's bad to steal, but it's less bad to steal than it is to kill somebody. Obviously, saying crappy things on Twitter and using your friends are both shitty, for lack of a more erudite term. They're both shitty. But one is obviously, I would say, you know, telling black people that they need to pull their pants up so that they can run from the police more effectively is actually shittier than clout chasing, especially in the beauty industry, because everybody in the beauty industry is clout chasing. Come on, let's be real. They're all clout chasing to one degree or another. Gemini palette for eyeshadow. Yeah, let's not do that anymore. False equivalences. Don't like it. Don't approve of it. Let's leave that in 2018. And then sort of connected to that is people using socially disadvantaged people as SJW points. People banging on about how angry they are about the Tarte Shape Tape shade range when they do not actually care. They just want to make sure everybody knows that they really care, but they don't. Could we not? Here's the thing. It's makeup. It's not that serious. I mean, I have a freaking It Cosmetics CC cream, right? If you're using a product from a brand that is not inclusive, even if it's not a great thing, it's not like a crime. You don't have to throw a big fit about it and pretend that you're super offended, but you're gonna use it anyway. And I'm not necessarily saying, like, I actually am offended by the shade range in It Cosmetics CC cream. If I had a channel at the time that I was looking for a CC cream, I would not have bought that one. You know, and it does make me uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't. But I guess what's getting me is that whenever these brands come out with really shitty ranges, like Beauty Blender, Tarte Cosmetics, whatever, you get all these people making long, ranty videos about it, but they clearly are just kind of going through the motions. just don't. Like, if you don't care, then just don't care. You don't have to pretend that you feel wounded by it if you don't. You don't have to pretend that your life has been shook by it if it hasn't. I mean, and I'm not saying that if you're not a person of color, you can't talk about it. If you really do care about it, then by all means, talk about it. And even if you're not canceling the brand because you're not that deep about it, but you are offended by it, you know, just say that. And while we're here swimming on the serious side of the swimming pool, another thing I would like to leave in 2018 is cancel culture. So here's the thing about cancel culture. It's stupid. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be held accountable for the crap that they do. Yes, they should. I'm just saying that, first of all, let's not act like every misstep is a career-ending major disaster. And second of all, every misstep is equivalent even if some of them are older than others and some of them are followed by better behavior than others. If somebody did something but it was 10 years ago when they were 12 and now they're 22, 23, whatever, and they're acting like not a douchebag, then maybe it's time to let it go. On the other hand, if somebody was a jackass a couple of months ago and they are still behaving like a problematic problem, then perhaps don't make excuses for them. So it's not, I guess it's not like really cancel culture that I want. No, I mean, it is. I would like to see cancel culture evolve to another level where you get canceled only if you deserve to be canceled, and you get forgiven if you are making the proper amends if you're not lying. That's what I want to see. Going into less treacherous, shark-ridden waters. People who have a bug up their butt about eyebrows and fat false lashes. I know that everyone here is aware that I have eyebrow issues, that I do not understand, I do not comprehend the big deal about the eyebrow. I'm not saying that people shouldn't feel very strongly about their own eyebrows. What I'm saying is that, like, when I see people talking about, well, if your eyebrows are not up to my standards, I can't even bear to speak to you. That's just stupid. Their eyebrows, yo. Come on. I'm not sure when false lashes became the standard for all peoples, but I feel like they should not be. Not everybody needs them, not everybody wants them, not everyone finds them comfortable. Some people can't put them on because of glue or allergies or whatever reason. I've heard that people get dirty looks at events because they're not wearing false lashes. Like, why, dog? Why? It's not that deep. Just put on mascara. I don't understand. We should not be obligated to live in the straitjacket of the one-size-fits-all beauty thingamabobby, my babies. I have a friend who doesn't even wear mascara a lot of the time. But, you know, she's living her best life. What's the problem? Stop being so judgmental. This is something that really gets me. Even though people are saying it's all about self-expression, and I do it because I love makeup and not because I want to please other people. Despite that, and this narrative that's starting to come out about people using makeup as an empowering thing instead of in order to fit a standardized beauty mold. Even so, people are generally expected to use it in a way that fits a specific beauty mold. Rapid fire makeup releases. Everybody is getting sick of this. When you get to the point where people who are actually not paying for the makeup are complaining about how much product that they're getting for free, that's a problem. And I don't mean it's a problem because they're ungrateful. I don't think that they are ungrateful. I think they're just overwhelmed. They have all this stuff coming in these massive packages, dozens of things every week. Why? Nobody needs that much product, especially since so much of it looks essentially the same. That whole neutral with a pop-up thing, it's not necessary. I'm using some Pat McGrath palettes because it's New Year's Eve, so I'm going all full bougie. I'm going to maximum bouge. If you've come to the point where you have people who do not pay for the products and who in fact get paid to review the product saying this is too much, please stop sending me products, that is Very telling. Of course, nobody expects anybody to buy all of the product, but it's too much to even think about. Oh yeah, just too much product. It's too much product is what I'm trying to get at here. Nobody needs that much product. Calm down. Another thing, stupid gimmick products that don't make any sense. Setting powder with hyaluronic acid. What? That doesn't make any sense. Primer, okay. A foundation, sure. A setting powder, what? Come on, guys, it's stupid. We don't need stupid going on here. I had a list and then I just sort of got off on tangents and I don't know what's wrong with me. I hope this video is okay. This is the Dose of Colors Ilovesarahii mini palette. Now I'm doing another Pat McGrath palette. Four motherships don't have names on them, which is just annoying, so I'm not really sure which one it is, but it's this one with all the greens. And then the first one that I used was this one, which I believe is 4. One thing I would like to see is I would like to continue to see smaller channels thriving. I did notice a drift to smaller channels for a lot of people, especially after the whole thing with the influencer salaries and GRWM. I know that some people have, I guess, lost faith in large channels. I really don't have an opinion about large channels versus small channels. It's nice to see people who aren't veterans and don't have the benefit of, I guess, seniority starting to get some attention and do well. Moving on to this gold, because I don't think I actually have a yellow eyeshadow, so I'm substituting this gold. I would like to keep seeing more and more colors for foundation releases, larger shade ranges as a default, but I would like to see brands that really seem to understand why it's important instead of just jumping on the trend because it's a trend. It's not a trend. Can we not treat people of color like a new fashion? I'm not sure that there's any makeup company that I'm 100% comfortable with. What are you gonna do? Nothing. We're not doing anything. Yeah, I guess it would be crazy. And if you're wondering what this is, I don't think it's made anymore. The NYX Holographic Halo Eye Tint in the gold bar. Here I go, going bougie and budget in the same video. That's how you know it's the real deal. I'd like to see a slight loosening of genre. I know it's not going to happen, but since this is a wish list, what I'd love to see is a return to those channels where people put up vlogs, tutorials, commentary, all on the same channel. I'm not trying to advocate for cult of personality, just speaking as somebody who has multiple interests and has a YouTube channel. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't want to keep track of which video goes on which channel. I really did intend for this video to be... So do you guys who use mascara primer, do you use it on your bottom lashes? Because I do sometimes. But my bottom lashes are imaginary, so that's pretty much why I do it. More things I would actually like to see. More colorful palettes, but more like, I guess, wearable colorful palettes. Rainbow palettes are nice, but I'd like to see some muted colors, some gold-toned colors. I have this one palette. There's no pigmentation in the palette. That is a heartbreaker for me because they have a gold shift even to the blues and greens and such that makes them extremely flattering for warmer toned skin. So I'd like to see more takes on colors, colorful palettes that are muted, palettes that have a gold shift, ones that have kind of like the Melt Cosmetics palettes from this year, Gemini and Smoke Sessions, where it's not just one color, but the colors all go together, and it's not a rainbow palette, but it's also not 9 neutrals and a green. Some different takes on color themes. I was really in love with the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade palette. I really want it. I still really want it, but I don't want to spend that much money on something that's going to be terrible. You know, I hope she reformulates it sometime. I want to see more reds, not purplish reds, but really just like unapologetic fiery reds. I've had a hard time finding anything like that. I want to see less of drama channels making something out of nothing. I actually understand the function of drama channels, and I used to watch them. I still kind of watch them. I just don't have as much time to watch them, but I don't have a problem with them on principle. I do kind of feel like some of the things that they make videos about are just not a thing. I don't know why they're even talking about it. It's just not important. It's not really drama. It's not really any of their business, and it's not an issue. Like, I don't know why they're making videos about some of these things. I'd like to see more nuance in conversations around controversial topics and problematic behavior, even aside from the false equivalency thing that I talked about before. I guess this is a person problem, but I'm talking about the beauty community right now, so we're going to talk about the beauty community. If Sarah sees Lance stealing the cookies and reports it to their mother, and Lance is like, well, Sarah kicked over a vase, that could very well be the case. Like, she could have kicked the vase over, and he could have also stolen the cookies. They could both be true. People could probably figure out what I'm talking about, but just because one guy did some dickish stuff doesn't mean that if he says different guy is dickish, he's lying. They could both be dicks. Maybe they both were dicks. Or Sarah sees a kid stealing cookies from the cookie jar and says, John stole the cookies from the cookie jar. And John was over at Steve's house. He didn't steal them. That doesn't mean she was lying. Maybe she was wrong. And for the record, I'm not necessarily saying that in any specific case, the person was definitely wrong rather than lying. No, you can be wrong without being a liar. This is done on a case-by-case basis. I guess I'd like to see more sanity, less lying, less BS. There are people that fell from grace this year that I would actually like to see do better next year. Like Manny MUA, who I don't have a problem with. And there are people who did very well this year that I'd like to see more documentary series from Shane Dawson. I recognize that he has gotten some clapback about it, especially with the Jake Paul one. I have some opinions on that too. Maybe I'll do a video about that one day. I know it's old news, but I did have a lot of thoughts about them, and I didn't actually have a channel at the time. Now, my friend Loru wants to say that she would like to see nose contouring go the way of Dodo this next coming year. I personally do not have a vengeance against nose contouring, necessarily. As you may notice, I do not myself nose contour because I don't know how and can't be bothered. And if we want to talk about things I want to see more of in the beauty community next year, embracing of different styles, different routines. You know, not everybody has to be Instagram ready all the time. Not everyone has to do heavy makeup all the time. Not everybody has to wear foundation. Not everybody has to wear false lashes. Not everybody has to have their eyebrows plucked and yada 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 moo. It's okay to be different. It's okay to prefer the natural look. I think that Glossier and Milk helped a little bit with that, but I still pretty much see everybody wearing false lashes unless it's a small YouTuber. So the sameness of the large YouTubers, I'd like to see, beauty tubers, I'd like to see some change in that area. Don't know how likely it is. So this is the Vlada Smashbox Black Eyeliner, Black Gold eyeliner. It's like a shiny black eyeliner with gold glitter in it. Let's see if I can do this. It just never stops with me. Do they match? No. Do I care? Not really, because I'm just going to wash this off afterward anyway. Like, does it ever occur to you when you're watching my videos that I'm actually a complete hot mess? Because if it doesn't, where have you been? If you're saying, wait, seriously, is she putting glitter on top of her eyeshadows? The answer is yeah, I am. What's the problem? Is that a problem? I don't think it's a problem. Why do you? I'm going to start wrapping this up because, as you can see, I'm almost done. After this, I just have the lippy gloss to put on. And then I will be prepared to venture forth into the holiday party that I'm not going to go to But if I wanted to go to one, I would be, you know, visually prepared for that. I guess if I were going to sum it, I would like for there to be less dumbfuckery and more consideration, nuance, and understanding. And then as far as the industry goes, fewer and better releases, more cruelty-free vegan releases, and more consideration for women of color. And by the way, I want to see olive undertones. I want to see golden undertones. I want to see red undertones. There you go. I do wish I had put more of the gold / yellow, probably over to here-ish, and then kind of scooted the blue and the green down a bit more. I used 2 different types of blue. I probably didn't need to do that, and obviously I wish that the the wing had gone better, but overall I would leave the house looking like this. That's not bad. I hope you have a great new year. I'm gonna try to do a video about New Year's things aside from this one, but I had an idea, but I don't remember the idea right now, so we're gonna see if I ever remember the thing. I'm not sure. And Ace Dom, which is a friend of mine, by the way, she says, I very much enjoy listening to your opinions, and we both know that I am also that ridiculous person that watches and copies tutorials, especially the weird and unwearable ones, and wearing them to the office out in the world. Yeah, I kind of figured that about you. But you know what? I wear a lot of makeup to work myself, so I'm not one to criticize. Although, you know, when I'm thinking about some of the really out there ones, like the Bob Ross on my face type tutorials, I would not wear those to work. I don't know if you would, but I wouldn't. But yeah, yay. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. And that goes for now too. Once again, if you would like a chance to get your comment featured in my videos, please do drop a comment down below. If you don't want it to get featured, just say that in the comment and I won't, you know, read it on video. That would be rude of me. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit like and consider subscribing to my channel. Tell a friend about my channel. Tell your cat about my channel. I cherish every viewer, including the cats. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Beep, beep. The rain is something serious going on out there, okay? It's all kinds of like... Yeah, if you hear crunching noises, that's my ridiculous cat pigging out. Like, I can't. He's being a menace. He's being a menace. Wouldn't it be stupid if this were just like a really, really boring, horrible video that nobody wanted to watch? Can you tell my brain is starting to shut down? It's only 10 o'clock. My newbiness is showing itself. Oh my god, this cat just will not stop. Do you want to stop? He's like, no, I don't want to stop. On one hand, I want to be like, it took longer than I expected. But on the other hand, it didn't. So I can't say that because that would be a lie. That the behavior has to actually stop before you're able to say, but it's been a year, but it's been 2 years, but it's been 10 years, 6 years. If there's one reason for me to root for myself to do better on YouTube and get more subscribers, it's so that I can get a sponsorship with Squarespace and buy myself a better setup. I want to look dewy, like a morning flower. Finishing touches and then lipstick. I was going to do a wing, but I can't find my eyeliner. Do you enjoy people embarrassing themselves with expensive makeup? If so, you have come to the right channel. Let's live our most adventurous lifestyle.